There you
Oh, guys, welcome back to our episode 5 of the TRM podcast. Jaime and I have a special guest today for you. He is a veteran with us on the leadership team of TRM, a veteran gym owner of over 15 years. You know, we call him McCoy Magic over there in Texas. Well, actually, I do. I think we does as well, too. Mr. Greg McCoy, how are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me on, Matt and Jaime. Excited to be here.
We're happy to have you, Greg. It's been a little while. I know you've been busy with the new gym location right now in Texas, I believe. The new location is going well for you?
Yeah, we have been working on this new location since late last year. It's set to open in October. So busy with construction, getting everything set up, doing some pre-sales. So we're running on all cylinders here at Hidden Gym.
The team's growing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really good to see, Greg.
Yeah, thank you so much. We're growing because of the team. So we're really blessed to have just such great people here. And I think the continued success is a testament to, the kind of people here and the day-to-day hard work that goes on.
Well, Jaime got a little taste of seeing you in action in December there when you guys had the Discovery Day. She was helping lead that over there and just rocking the Hidden Gym crew. And I kind of feel a little bit jealous. I wasn't able to experience that, Jaime. What do you think?
Yes. At the time, Greg and I went for breakfast, and the idea of the Pegasus Park location was, it was just getting the deal kind of started, but he was working on whether it would be a good investment. And here we are. He's got a second Hidden Gym location.
Yeah, that was, I think I had a meeting after breakfast. We were like, I hope it goes good.
6 months later, everything's coming to fruition.
Yeah. Matt, you did on that trip. You missed a great cardio workout. I can tell you that much.
That's true.
I'm looking forward to getting that action sometime later in fall when we come back. So looking forward to getting a workout and hard cardio. I mean, workout for sure. Cardio, I'll have to negotiate with Jaime and you on that one. So topic of today's, guys, is how to structure process systems for your team, Greg. I know it's one thing you've been working on with Hidden Gym, your own coach right now you have underneath you as well with your gym. It's one of the things you shine at right now with your gym. Obviously, you're expanding fast. Your team is growing. One of Jaime's specialties as well, obviously, is systems as well from Jaime's end as well, too. So I kind of want to go into that as part of our first topic, Greg, if you don't mind, to kind of go in there as a topic in today. I guess to start things off, when it comes to systems or processes for you and your team, how important has it been for you in growing right now at the pace right now that you're growing right now with Hidden Gym?
It is of paramount importance. We have to stay process driven. There's just at this point too many people involved that if we don't have a tight process, then things start to fall through the cracks. Clients are having bad experiences. Trainers get unhappy. So the process is the backbone. And one thing that we've really been doing recently, and those of you leading a team, we did several assessments of our. Are you guys getting some feedback on the mic?
Yours a little bit.
Yeah.
We did several assessments like with our teams, and one of them was visual versus audio learners or written learners. And my whole team is visual. So why this, comes to the process part is literally we draw out the process, on a whiteboard or on our meeting notes. And, it's a very visual, like almost engineering looking document. And, there's the circle about, okay, here's the weak link in the chain, or this is where I think, we're losing, like right now, for instance, just to speak in real terms, our show rate for consultations is the weak point. So we've been working on like, okay, when we get them here, the closing rates are awesome. Once they're on board, they're very happy. They're getting results. They're staying with us. But the weak link is getting them to show up for the consultation. So that is the piece of that like 8-step process or whatever it is that we're really honed in on.
Interesting. Jaime, you want to kind of ask some questions to Greg as well, Jaime, on your end, Jaime, on the process side?
When did you know you needed a process, Greg?
I think it was, luckily out of past failures. Yeah, because I have, you know, the success we've had is built on the failures of my past, right? So as Matt mentioned, I've been doing this a while, and I've always done rent-based personal training at my gyms. Now we have a hybrid where we do have independent trainers, most of all, who are in the TRM program. And then we've got a hybrid mix of, you know, trainers that have their own personal clients and then trainers that work for the gym. And I've tried and failed at that twice. This is the third time, and it's going great. So, you know, I think, you know, coming into it, I knew like what the pitfalls were in the past, and, you know, to really, and then what I learned also, you know, along with you guys on my own personal training business, you know, really helped to move it into a team setting.
Interesting. Have you, like from a PT standpoint, Greg, have you pretty much passed a lot of your clients over to your team, or do you still do some PT as well?
Yeah, very little. It's so funny because like, I'll briefly kind of tell my backstory just for those that haven't heard it, because as a gym owner doing personal training, I was very focused on the gym business, and I was very structured about it, worked on the business, studying KPIs. Like it was very much, you know, a formal business. And I treated personal training like a side hustle, like pocket cash. Like this is so that, you know, the little salary I'm paying myself from the gym, like this is the money that, you know, bridges that gap for me. Enter TRM when you're here, and we connect thanks to Todd Abrams, and we have our first mastermind here. That really turned my personal training side hustle into a business, really structured it, formalized it, scaled it, you know, to being less work and a lot more money. And then, you know, now I've taken what I've learned there, and then of course, all my past failures and lessons, and now we're, you know, selling it through the gym and at a pretty good rate now. So
your team of right now coaches right now, I believe between contractors, hybrid, and also underneath your brand is what, like almost 25, 30 in total, or 40?
Yeah, it's probably about 25.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing, Greg.
Yeah, and I don't think I answered even the original question. I do some training still. My allowance for myself is 10 hours a week on the floor. I like force myself not to do more because I do enjoy it. But I'm at the point now where it's like, you know, training is my low leverage activity, as sad as that is. But I still, I find it valuable for me to kind of manage from the floor. Like I like to be on the gym and with the members. So I kind of like write it off or justify it that way. And then I do work with some of our pre-contest clients.
Interesting.
Yeah.
When clients come to you for PT now, like do you pretty much just offboard them to your team?
I try to stay out of it now, because what we were kind of all experiencing was, so I was kind of the front end. I would attract the client for the most part. And then I would do the sales consultation, and I would try to share it with the team. And it came off as a bait and switch. It was kind of like, oh, this is awesome. Greg is such a good trainer. Can't wait to work with you. Oh yeah, I don't see you anymore. And so now like we're letting, I really just try to stay out of it and then support once they're already clients. Of course, like we use like some of my face and my material and my wife's Tana's face and material in the sales process, but we're not physically there doing it. And that way we're not like, it probably affected the volume of sales a little bit, but it's not, they don't have the wrong expectations anymore that they're going to see me day in and day out. And that's helped a lot.
Jamie?
Well,
yeah.
It reminds me of when Aaron said on one of our elite calls that, you know, almost to an extent now people are surprised when he decides to show up on a call because he's gotten to this level that everyone just assumes they're going to get his underlings. So Greg, I think the balance that you have where you're still present in your business, but at an arm's distance is a brilliant model.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
yeah, go ahead, Matt.
No, go ahead, Greg. Go ahead, bud.
No, I was just going to say that's exactly it. And I think it was my own fear that stopped me from doing it sooner. I was just scared, like, oh, if I'm not there, they're not going to want it, or they think I don't care and all this stuff. So and honestly, they don't think about it that much at all. Like I think they are more expected me to be that way and are surprised when I am too hands-on. So I think it was just one of those things where my own fear of wanting to be everything to everyone was holding me back.
Could you share, Greg, when you were like that busy PT, like, I mean, busy where you had a waiting list and you had to make that shift to build a process, and I believe with obviously your executive is like a girl there. What that first step was for you? Was it have a meeting with her? Was it building a process for her? Kind of explain to the members, obviously, kind of what that process was for you.
Yeah. So if you haven't taken the TRM course, you should, because one of the modules is about leveraging time. If you have taken it, you don't remember that module, you should go back and watch it again, because it's a life-changing module. So I really dove into that module, and basically got to the point where I didn't do anything but train. I mean, I wasn't answering emails, I wasn't answering messages, I didn't do scheduling, I didn't do billing. I'm lucky in the fact, like, I know like most independent trainers don't have like a staff. Like, I'm lucky that I have, 4 full-time people to do all this with. So it's a little bit of a different scenario, but there are ways that, and we teach that in this course, that you can do it without, if you don't have a gym staff. But the biggest thing for me was scheduling and billing, to not deal with that, because the question is, can someone else do it? Of course, like, I'm the only one that knows how to do a QuickBooks invoice and plug people into a calendar. So why am I spending so much time on this? So that was huge. Just the simple processes of downloading progress photos, asking them to send it. What was your weight today? All that stuff can be done with an assistant and forms. So all of that stuff just, probably alleviated 35% of the time that I was spending on my PT business once I got that squared away.
Want to expand, Jimmy, on that, Jimmy?
What specifically, Matt? Sorry.
Well, this is one of the areas you're really good at as well. I think is one thing that you teach in TRM is, time management, systemization, and so forth. Actually, kind of Greg mentioned that with his team. Do you want to kind of lay off, like, almost like dig into maybe the importance of that onboarding system, right, for the clients and so forth?
Yeah. I think the first thing that you have to think about is, what don't you want to do? For those who may be listening to the podcast for the first time and even they're not understanding the idea of low leverage. Guys, it essentially is something that either doesn't hold a value to you relative to what you think your hourly rate is worth, or it's essentially something you don't want to do. So onboarding a client, which is just a matter of sending them forms and questionnaires and contracts, doing the check-in, which is essentially just evaluating said forms and check-ins and contracts, etc., are definitely things that should either be automated or, yes, 100% offloaded to somebody who. Now, Greg, I'm going to challenge you a little bit. As long as the assistant matches your energy, your enthusiasm, and your passion, then you can definitely offboard a check-in. But sometimes, at least to me, answering an email and getting my face in front of the camera is a high leverage, because people are like, there's my trainer. She's so
definitely. And let me clarify, like, the because that's a great point. The part that I automated was, hey, just a reminder, we need to send your pictures today. Oh, you forgot to send your weight. Oh, you didn't do this. Then I do review those. I was reviewing those pre-contest people. I send them a video message through Trainer Eyes. Hey, Yuri, looks awesome. 8 weeks out, we're on track. This is the changes for this week. So they were getting that touch point, which I agree is definitely like kind of what that is the high leverage they pay for. Yeah. But they're like everything but that like sweet spot I wasn't doing.
Okay.
Interesting. Yeah. Can you give us a breakdown of exactly what you do, Greg, with your process, like step by step? Like if I came into your gym as a prospect, I want to do a consultation. Like, what do you do right now with your business? Like, almost like does it go to Christina? Like, what exactly is your step-by-step?
Sure. So you're going to get into my secret sauce here, Matt.
You can share what you want, Greg.
Yeah, sure. No, but in super basic, it's easier to, it's not as easy to repeat as you would think, or we'd all be doing it right. So in basic, we have marketing going out that's going to attract personal training leads. So those offers and advertisements change based on kind of what our goals are. They're either filling out a form on the Hidden Gym website or calling us. At that point, what we've recently changed was we were just having the front desk team just try to book the consultation, and we were getting a lot of bookings, but they weren't showing up. So what we started to do was to really just coach on, in that initial call, we have to have some initial discussion of goals. And now the whole staff is trained to really, just like when we do tours, we really need to find out why they called. And then when we start to do follow-ups to make sure they're going to come to the consultation, we make sure to use language like, hey, we can't wait to talk to you about that 15 pounds you want to lose before your wedding, versus reminder, you've got a 3 p.m. It's like, looks like your dentist sent you a text message, right? Like, so we inserted like repeat their goals back to them when we're doing the consultation. Then they sit down with one of two people that do sales consultations, which we don't call it that to the client. That's our internal language. But they sit down, we show them, we talk about their goals, we kind of show them the services that we have and suggest what would get them to their goal, and then ask them for the sale. And if they say yes, then they get onboarded and they follow those steps. If they say no, then we have kind of follow-up steps in the process. And one super cool thing we started doing too was we bought a 3D scanner here. So a big part of the onboarding process now is we put them on this really cool 3D scanner. They get a avatar of their body with circumference and body fat percentages and kind of incremental check-ins on that. And that's been a really cool like visual element that's added to the onboarding. So that's, I think, and kind of super brief, that's the process.
So before I come and see you guys, I'm going to make sure my body fat is extremely low. I don't get embarrassed by Jamie or you, per Body Fat Pros. So I might just dehydrate for a couple of days. See, fat load or whatever you call that, carb load.
The 3D avatar is extremely revealing. Everybody's like, they get their download and they're like, oh my gosh.
All right. Things to do when you come to Hidden Gym there, Jamie. I guess you're going to be going on the 3D scanner.
Yeah.
We talk about that all the time. It's a value add because not every gym, I'm a member of a Crunch. All they did was have me step on a doctor scale and like move the thing over. That is a huge value because those are also hard to come by. Like other than a DEXA scan and maybe an in-body that you have to pay $20 for, that's huge, Greg.
Yeah. It's been a super cool tool.
The way you've actually been able, Greg, to actually build your process with your trainers actually is kind of unique because I remember when I first met you, how you're doing kind of online personal training, and obviously you had kind of your prices kind of where they were, and how fast you took all that and like put it into motion with your trainers. Like you were like building right away with everything financially and so forth. But it was just kind of cool to see how you went to the next level with that and almost got, your executive a part of that and like all your team onboarded. And now it's like at a whole different level, which kind of is cool, to see how much, because even your team is growing fast, like internally, you got like what 5 internal coaches underneath you and more. And they like love being a part of your brand and your team, which also is another asset that is huge for you, Greg.
Yeah, it's so funny, like thinking back to, you can do one session for 75 or 10 for 650. I'm like, oh my gosh, like the 10 pack. I'll never want to hear that word again. Like, thank God, we switched me over to monthly packages, and it's I never looked back.
Do you mind sharing one story to kind of round off our talk today that was almost like a story that was a big lesson learned for you in putting things into place for systems or business process for you that could be painful, maybe was a little bit tough for you to go through, but it taught you a lot about like how to put things in place for you now in your business?
That's hard to get down concise. I feel like it's a lessons every single day. I think the we've definitely talked a lot about this in TRM, and it's usually advice I share in the groups. But, if your processes or steps that you take in your business aren't written down, they don't actually exist. Like if they're just in your head. So I think, just really always aiming to over communicate the processes, drawing them out, making sure that, to get 8 to 25 people to understand what's happening is a lot harder than it sounds. And everyone's interpretations of that are different. So it takes a lot of repetition. You can't get frustrated. You can't assume people know what you're thinking. You've really got to simplify things. And like I said, just get it down on paper. Even just articulating things yourself will teach you a lot. Because you think man, I got this thing planned out to the T. And then you're try to write it down and you're like, it's not exactly coming out as clear as it was in here. So I think that's it. You just really try to formalize what you're doing. And then it gives you this kind of tangible thing that you can go and tweak. And it's like I said, we now can very easily circle show rate as the weak point. If we could just get our show rate up from 40% to 80%, just look how that would affect everything else down the chain.
Jamie, any other thoughts you want to ask Greg at all? Any questions you want to ask Greg there, Jamie? Or last words?
Yeah, I guess my biggest question is if somebody had to start with one thing tomorrow, specifically to be able to use a team, what is the biggest thing that would make, or the smallest thing that would make the biggest difference?
You guys are full of hard questions. I think you got to start with, one person. If you're going to try to build a team, don't try to get too big too fast. Managing one assistant is difficult. It's a different kind of difficult than 35 people, but it's still difficult in its own way. So I think you gotta, if you're going to build a team, one brick at a time, spend your time with that person, really make sure they're doing it the way that you want it done, and that it's making the clients happy, and then finish that off. And then after you've got that solidified, then layer on top of it, and now you've got 2, and there's a new dynamic with 3 people, and you got to make sure those 2 get along. So you really got to take it step by step, formalize it, write it out, and you'll grow faster than you think. It sounds like that's a slow way. Of course you want to add 5 new trainers tomorrow, but take it slow and finish things off before you move on to the next level, I think would probably be my advice, because I've done the gung-ho approach before and it's backfired.
Last thoughts, Jamie?
Greg is a perfect role model and example. He didn't have it all figured out right away. He wasn't handed the keys or the golden ticket for how to do this. He didn't inherit it from anybody. He built this from the ground up. And like he said, all of his wins and successes were predicated on his mistakes. So guys, follow Greg, follow Hidden Jim, listen to this podcast again, because it is invaluable.
He has a great quote. I think it's on your IG there, Greg, about nice guys finish first. And that's so you, because you lead without an ego. And I really like that about you, because you've been able to grow so fast, come through TRM 7 times. You were the first person, I think, in our team that actually mentioned about printing off all the material, and you kind of gave us the workbook idea. Came from you for Jamie and I to do for TRM. And it's made a game changer for all the members, because now they're printing all the sheets, and putting it in workbooks because of what you mentioned in TRM 10K. So Jamie's right. You came in 10K with an open mind. You've gone through it and keep applying it, and now you're one of our veteran core leader, which is fantastic. So we're thankful to have you on board, Greg, and looking forward to a discovery day at your gym again. But we're going to blow that roof off this next time, buddy.
Yeah, that's great, man. Thank you so much for everything. Of course, always happy to be here and share and continue to grow with you guys, as well as give back. And my TRM binder is I pulled it out today when you were I was like, what's the topic for today? And you're like, what do you want to look at? And I'm like, well, Let's see.
Well,
I like this module. I don't want to talk about that one. But yeah, we'll, hopefully in the fall here, we'll have a bunch of people that, are trainers that want to take it to the next level. Certainly we have plenty of people that have taken that step from, no K to 10K. And we want you here with us. There's plenty of Ks out there for all of us. So come to Hidden Gem in the fall. We're going to have fun, and you'll learn how to help more people and make more money.
I love it, man. I love it.
Perfect.
Well, Jaime and I appreciate you, Greg. Thanks again for your time. Guys, the TRM Show, guys, follow us on Apple, Spotify, and Stitcher. This is Greg McCoy and Jaime Filer coming to you from the TRM Show. We're signing off. Wishing you guys a fantastic day.
Thanks, guys.